Hey everyone, it's your girl Ivy and welcome back to my channel. As you can see from the description, I am going to tell you guys about my personal experience working at a strip club, not as an exotic dancer, but as a cocktail waitress. I got into working at the strip club because a friend of mine was working there and she was talking about how it was a great way to make extra cash. Now, for those who already know me, you already know that I work a full-time job at a tech company. And for me, I was just looking for more bread. I was just looking for more income to spend on things that I really want versus just wasting my checks away on my bills. So I thought, great, this is something that I can do after work. It's just making easy money, serving drinks. Let's do it, right? So I was told that I could just come in to meet with one of the managers. Of course, since it is an industry that is highly based on being aesthetically pleasing and selling this fantasy, they want to make sure that the girls that they hire are attractive. So I was told to go in and meet with the managers. So of course, after work one day, I finally got a chance to go in and meet with one of the managers. Immediately, we had a short conversation. She asked me what my schedule would be like. I let her know, like, hey, I can work after work. I get off like around 3:34. So as long as I have time to rest a little bit before I come in, I should be good. And she was like, cool. So they called me back in to, well, actually, she had me fill out an actual application to apply for the position. For me, I wasn't expecting this. You know, in regards to a strip club, I just thought, okay, boom, come in, they're like, bet you can start working. They tell me what the schedule is going to be like, blah, 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 boom, it's done. But no, that's not the case. I not only had to fill out an application, but after being hired, I was also required to like fill out a W-2 or whatever the tax thing is, because they are listed technically as like a restaurant. And so just keep that in mind. I had to fill out stuff for taxes, which once again was something that I was not expecting at all. So boom, I get this job, right? And I'm told that the required attire is that I have to have black panties, black solid panties. I have to have flesh tone stockings or pantyhose. I also have to have heels that are at least 3 inches. So of course I ended up going and getting stripper heels because the platform is high, so it's not that huge of, you know, your foot is better than having your feet like this all night. So I got me the stripper heels, cool, secured. For the first week or two, we were given these black like spaghetti strap dresses. Those were our training uniforms. And then after we survived the first week or two, we would be given the corsets that would go along with the panties. Now for me, I live in North Carolina. I live in the Raleigh area. And so you can kind of try to guess where, but I can just tell you now, it was one of the more predominantly white strip clubs. And I also want you to keep that in mind. If I go down the pros and cons, I can say, I'll start with the pros. The pros is that if you're not someone who works a full-time job or has to get up early in the morning, this is great for you because you can sleep in all day and then you don't have to worry about going into work until like 7, 8, 9 o'clock p.m. right? That's great if you don't have to get up early in the morning and work a full 8-9 hour shift before you go to the strip club. Another great pro to that is that you can make tips. The thing about tips is that you could go in and have a $50 night, or you can go in and have a $500 night. That's the beauty of tips, depending on who you have in your section, depending on how much they spend, you can come out making a lot more than you would just sitting for 40 hours in a regular desk job. Pro, right? Also, another pro is you really get a view into the life and the lifestyles of those who live in the nightlife. I was exposed to a world that I could have never really imagined because I was stuck in my bubble of working my 9 to 5, and I'm not staying up past 1, 2 o'clock because I gotta get up at 6:37 a.m. to get ready for work again. I was exposed to a group of people who make their money in the nighttime. They come alive in the nighttime, and I thought that was pretty dope. I'm someone who loves to see women thriving in whatever it is they're doing. So shout out to all of the exotic dancers out there who make their money at nighttime, who secure bands in a day, 2 days, who sit on salaries, who can make people's salaries within a couple of weeks. I think that's dope. Me personally, that's not the life that I choose to live. I'm not about the stripping life, but shout out to the women who do. Yeah, and you know, just being able to network with a wide variety of people. Some people would come into the strip club and they just want to chat, they just want to talk, you know, they just kind of want to get away from whatever they have going on, and they just want somebody to sit and talk to. And that was pretty dope too, just being able to network with people. So I think those were the pros. The cons, however, are going back to the nightlife. For me, who was working a day job, it absolutely sucked having to go in maybe about 2 hours after I got off of my first job to go in, and then staying there till like 3 in the morning, and then having to turn around and do it all over again. Wake up early in the morning for my day job and then go back in to work a night shift. Now for me, I feel like it wouldn't have mattered if I was making the money. Okay, this gives me another con. People don't understand that working as a cocktail waitress isn't all that great because you don't see that much money out of it. There were actually most days that I worked there, and I don't know if it was just the particular strip club that I was working at, it was like I was walking out with money that I would put in my gas tank just to get to and from the strip club. Like literally, after I had to tip everyone, I was walking away with like $20, $30. So that's another con, is that the money isn't all that consistent. I think for the strippers, like they come out pretty good, right? But for the cocktail waitresses, I don't think, unless you're somebody who has been there for a while and has regulars and have people who come and specifically tip you and drop money on you, you're not really gonna make that much money. Another con, remember I said you have to tip people, right? So within that job, you as a cocktail waitress have to tip out your bartenders who make the drinks for you to take out to the patrons. You also have to tip the valet guys, because we were required to have the valet guys park our cars for our safety, but also in us doing that, we had to pay them to valet park our car. So that's more money that we had to give out, right? And just as a courtesy, you tip security, DJ, whoever, and also you were supposed to give a percentage of what you made to the club, and that is what they would tax. So for me, having to drive about 45 minutes to this strip club and then 45 back at like 3 o'clock in the morning, it just was not worth it to me. It was not. Another con, which it's not going to be for everybody, because not everybody is working at a predominantly white strip club and not everybody is Black or a person of color. Being in a predominantly white strip club, it seemed like a lot of the patrons were going for white women. So even if I was working alongside a cocktail waitress who wouldn't be considered as attractive as me, they still would likely make more money than me because, well, they were white. And you know, there's nothing wrong with that. I just realized, like, oh, that's what this is. Like, there's a type here, and I don't necessarily fit that mold. And so I was seeing it in money, where it'd be like, we'd come together and I'd be like, girl, how much did you make? And it's like, I'd be like, oh, well, you know, I came out with 50, and she'd be like, oh girl, I made $118. And I'd be like, really? I mean, I was busting my ass tonight, probably more than you, and that's how much I have right now. So that kind of sucked too. And then, yeah, having to stand in heels for 7-8 hours at a time, especially when the money wasn't coming in, it's just like, it just was not worth it. It was not worth it to me. And I was told that the longer you work there, the more money you'll see. But for me, I didn't choose to take on the job so that I could start making money down the road. I wanted to make extra cash then and there. I wasn't trying to go into a job and sit and make nothing and make nothing and make nothing until finally I hit on something. Like, I didn't want to waste, you know, my precious sleep and time and energy into something that was not showing immediate benefits. Because if that was the case, I might as well just quit that and just continue doing hair on the side like I do and finding other ways to make money. But yeah, it just seemed like way too much. One thing that I did also learn is that a lot of times, if you are going into this industry and you're starting as a cocktail waitress, they use the cocktail waitressing role to transition you into becoming a stripper. Because it's like, when you are going in night after night and seeing how you're not really making anything being a cocktail waitress, but you see the exotic dancers or strippers coming out making hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars, it kind of makes you want to be like, you know, well, I'm already in lingerie. I might as well get on stage, walk around a little bit with my bra off, and make extra money. And for me, that's just not, like I said, the lifestyle that I care to live. I can be a waitress. I would have even been cool being a bartender, because hell, I feel like the bartenders ended up making better money than we did, because once again, they were making money from people ordering drinks at the bar, and then they also got a portion of all of the cocktail waitresses' tips. So they were better off than us cocktail waitresses. But yeah, so I just feel like for those who want to become a stripper, that's probably a great entryway, starting as a cocktail waitress and then building your way up to getting on the dance floor and going into the private rooms and making your money there. But if you're someone who's just looking for quick cash, I can't even say that being a cocktail waitress at a strip club would be a good idea, at least not at the one that I was at. For those who know of strip clubs in the North Carolina area, Raleigh area, where the waitresses make a good amount of cash, and it's not one of those things where you have to wait months down the line to see good money, go ahead and drop it for those who are aspiring to do it. It's a fun environment to be in. That's another pro. It's a fun environment to be in. But if you're not really making money and your goal is to make money in this position, then I don't think it's not worth it. So that was my tidbit on being a cocktail waitress. Yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions. I probably will do another part to working as a cocktail waitress in the strip club, or just being in the strip club environment, period. But I just wanted to come in and kind of share a little bit of my experience. I bet some of you guys didn't know that I worked at a strip club, but yes, I did. It was short-lived, and Would I do it again? Hell no. If the trade-offs are me standing in 8-inch heels and walking away with $20 a night, which is the gas that I put in my car to get there and back, hell to the no. Hell to the no. But yeah, that was my tidbit. Those are my pros and cons on working at the strip club. If you want to be a stripper, then find a video to tell you how to make sure you get your coin, you earn your coin, you maximize the coinage ability or earning potential. If you want to be a cocktail waitress, unless you plan on becoming a stripper, it might not be for you. Or unless you just don't have, if you don't have another job, like if you don't have another job, then I say do it, do it. But for me, I had a full-time job. I was just looking for extra cash. If you're looking for extra cash, I don't think that's the place to go. But if you just want to be able to sleep in and you want to be able to make money off tips, then maybe that's the job for you. Thank you so much for watching. As usual, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.